Hey sweet friends, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katelyn and I love creating beautiful home decor on a budget. So if you love crafting and all things DIY, hit that subscribe button and also leave me a big thumbs up because it really helps my channel to grow. Today is going to be a very fun video. I'm actually participating in a huge collab put together from Kat from the channel According to Kat right here on YouTube, and I'll leave her channel down below, but it is called the Rainbow Challenge. Kat thought up this really cool idea to make color-themed DIY videos by different creators on YouTube and kind of select everyone a color, and these are going to be all colors of the rainbow, and then she also added on gold, so it's like you get to go through and watch all of these DIYs through each color of the rainbow, and then you get the gold at the end. So a super cute, fun idea, and I really liked it, so I definitely wanted to join in. So we are putting together a huge, fun, colorful playlist that I know you're going to love. I'll put the link for that down below so that you can go through all of the other colors. I was actually lucky enough to get the color purple, which is one of my favorite colors, so I knew it was going to be so fun and super easy to put all of these decor pieces together. And just a heads up, I kind of do purple accents a lot in all of my DIYs, so if you're not all about that purple, you definitely can omit that color and add in any color that you like or substitute it for any other color, because a lot of mine can easily be traded for a different color. So just wanted to put that out there. I'm sure you already know that, but just gonna throw that out there. So let's go ahead and stop talking and jump on into the video. For the first purple DIY, I wanted to start with some kind of a container that I could put some of my flowers in. So I found these two little wooden crates from Dollar Tree. I think they are the perfect little size to create tons of different things out of. The only thing I would suggest is that I glue these two together and then paint them, but I would paint them separately before putting them together because I just wasn't thinking, and after I got them together, you cannot paint the inside slats on the bottom one. You just can't get in there. I guess if you had a tiny enough brush, but it's just annoying. So I just recommend painting them before, because after I got this painted, you are able to see a little bit of that natural color slats on the inside, but no big deal. They're not, you know, super obvious. But to get a little weathered wood look, I fell in love with the color combination of using the steel color, which is this medium gorgeous gray color, and then I can dry brush over the top of that with the dark elephant color, and it's just a beautiful combo, and they just work well together. And right now I'm just in the mood to paint everything gray. I just love how it looks weathered like this, and I love like old weathered palettes, so it just reminds me of that. So just painted this completely, and then I do go ahead and end up painting the bottom because it did drive me crazy whenever I was filming this, and I did want to make it look all complete and polished and finished. And now I have this cute little wooden basket, little wooden pallet box thing that I think is super cute. I'm going to add one of these little metal hearts. I have these left over from a ton of Valentine signs that I use. I get questions all the time because I've been using them often, but they're just these adorable little tin hearts. But if you don't have them, you could just galvanize or like paint faux galvanized on like a wooden heart to kind of get the same effect. And then I wanted it to have a little bit of texture and detail, so I love how the jute string looks whenever adding it to this metal. So I'm gluing down this metal heart, and then I just decided to go ahead and glue the bow in the center and make it a little bit more detailed that way. And then to make this a purple DIY for the challenge video, I'm adding in these gorgeous little petite purple flowers. These just say greenery pick. They're about $1.47 I think at Walmart. I just picked these up and I think they are new. But I just thought that they were so adorable being so tiny, and the little leaves on there being tiny. To get them to fit inside this little wooden crate, I just bent the stem over and tucked it down in one of the slats. I love that the box is neutral, so you definitely could put in fall flowers or save it for any season and just really spruce it up different and make it coordinate with your decor every different season or anytime you change it out. But I think this is a gorgeous, adorable little piece piece that was super fun and really inexpensive to put together. For the next DIY, I wanted to make a larger sign piece, and it's kind of tricky to do that with Dollar Tree items. You could definitely hot glue boards together if you want to kind of get the same effect and paint the faux wood on the background, but I have this clearanced canvas from Hobby Lobby. I only paid about $3.25 for it. Like I say, it was definitely clearanced out, so it was very inexpensive. I'm not sure what they cost at regular price or with a coupon, but that's something that I definitely want to check on. But this has been sitting around for a very long time, just in a crafting pile, crafting stash to get around to using. So I was super excited to put it to good use. Now, I discovered ripping the canvas off of the Dollar Tree canvases with the little wooden frames make the perfect little frame, but I thought it would be fun to try this larger scale. So that's why I'm using the Hobby Lobby canvas. It's so much bigger, and I wanted the wooden background, so this kind of looks like a pallet sign. So I'm using some of my jumbo popsicle sticks that I pick up from Walmart, and I'm going to lay them across the back to see how many that I need, and then I'll cut them down just a tiny bit to make sure that that rounded part isn't going to overhang on the edges. Whenever I used to set up at craft shows, I would make pallet signs out of real pallet boards, and the wood was always so hard to work with. You had to have like big power saws to cut them, and then they would always have nails in them and holes in them. So yes, I know Dollar Tree is not as, using Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby canvases to make this isn't as high quality as using real wood, but it's just so much easier, I feel like, to work with the Dollar Tree items. So it's just really fun and a lot easier than going out to the shop and trying to cut big pieces of wood, because I always was too nervous to use the table saw, and even though I used pretty much everything else, but the table saw does scare me. But anyways, I go ahead and paint all of these large popsicle sticks with this white chalk paint, and I didn't worry about getting it perfect. I just went ahead and added one coat on there and kind of just covered everywhere, but you don't have to worry about the ends because they will be hidden behind the frame. And then while I scoot those to the side and let those dry, I'm going to go ahead and paint the frame. And like I said before, I am just really addicted to painting this steel color on everything and then dry brushing over it with the elephant. I just love how it looks so much. While I still have gray on my paintbrush, I'm going to go ahead and paint this little wooden love sign. I also picked this up from Hobby Lobby. This was originally $3.99, but I'm sure that I used a coupon on it, or sometimes they even put their wooden items on sale. I'm not going to do both paint colors on this. I'm not going to go over it with the elephant color. I'm just going to paint this the lighter color, which is the steel color, and then I'm going to sand over that to let a little bit of those raw edges show through, because I don't want this to match the frame exactly, but I still want them to coordinate nicely together. Next, I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue all of my popsicle sticks down. Now, I kind of added too much glue, so maybe I cut them a little bit too short, or maybe I added too much hot glue, but I felt like it kind of seeped underneath the frame. So you'll see whenever I flip this over, you're not going to be able to tell it whenever I hung it up on the wall, but just if I was making this again, I definitely would add less hot glue, or maybe leave the popsicle sticks a tad bit longer, maybe even full size, or just cut down one side so that they didn't have to be glued so close to the frame. And then I'm going to add my purple color for this challenge into the top little wreath that's going to go at the top of this sign. So first I wanted some greenery in the background, and I'm using these lamb's ear picks from Walmart. I accidentally said Dollar Tree in the last video, but they say Mainstays on there, so they came from Walmart. But anyways, and then I'm going to take these same little petite flowers, and I'm going to cut them off of their little floral stem, and then just kind of glue them in different directions on top of the lamb's ear. And then I'm just hot gluing them sloppy in the center because I knew I was going to cover that with a big burlap bow. And to make the perfect simple little burlap bow, I'm just looping over the burlap ribbon, and I did have a little paint on it, so I had to cut that off. But I go ahead and make 2 loops because I do want to make this a double bow, and just do the same thing. And then I end up scrunching these together with a piece of jute string. I did cut a piece for the tails, but I decided to not add the tails because I thought it would look cuter since the flowers are kind of hanging low on the bottom, that they didn't have the little tail to cover it up. Next, I'm just tucking in and gluing some of this greenery where I see little holes at, but this is what it looks like all put together. I think this is such a high quality, high-end, nice piece that looks beautiful and store-bought and just gorgeous for clearance / Dollar Tree / Walmart items. We all love a good Dollar Tree jar DIY, so that's what I'm going to jump into. Like I say, you definitely could take out the purple flowers and add any color that you want. So this still is a really cute farmhouse decor idea, but I'm going to take 3 of the Dollar Tree glass jars and completely coat them with the Waverly chalk paint in white. You can feel free to spray paint them, but I actually kind of enjoy painting glass with the chalk paint, and I feel like it adheres really nicely, especially if you let it cure or set overnight. And then this is kind of random, but I had this old sign that I was about to throw out or donate it. I just had it set aside to a pile, and I flipped it over and found out that these jars fit perfectly down in there, so I thought this would be a cute little tray. If you don't have this, you definitely could just go DIY you a little wooden box. I've made them before out of thin little wooden trim or those little 98-cent boards from Home Depot. You just have to cut them down, or you can flip over pictures or canvases from Dollar Tree. There's just always a ton of different options, but I'm going to be doing that same little effect, like I say I do on everything, painting it the steel color and going over it with the elephant color. And I think this just makes a gorgeous, easy, convenient little tray. I was so happy that this held all 3 of them, so I just placed them down in there. They're not 100% dry, so you can see they do have a few little drips on them that need to dry, and then me scooting them over there. I got paint all over my hands, but these are the purple flowers I'm going to be putting in the jars. I also picked these up from Walmart. They have these, they're really nice quality. They have these little soft stems, but I just folded them over and stuck them down into the jar. But I wanted a little bit of height to this jar, so I do end up taking some more greenery picks from Walmart. They had these little eucalyptus leaves, and I thought that they were so pretty and nice quality, so I just tucked those behind these purple flowers to give it a little bit more height. Whenever it was all put together, I felt like it needed just something in the front to make it pop off and go more with farmhouse decor. So I'm using some of this black and white buffalo check ribbon. I picked this up in a spool from Hobby Lobby, but I just made it kind of like a large X and looped it over each other to get this cute little bow. I still tie it in the center. I'm just not cutting off each of the loops. Both ways work really well and are really easy to work with and are really easy to shape, but I just double knot that and then trim down the extra, and then I always cut the little dovetails at the ends to give it a little polished look.
Let's drive into the sunrise. Where your heart is where I wanna lie.
Leave in the comments what color flowers would you have put in this jar. I would love to know. I like the purple for this challenge, but if I could go with any other color, I think I would have chosen like a bluish color, just because that goes with a lot more of my stuff. But I do love the purple flowers in there. This would be really cute in a bedroom or a laundry room. I always think of laundry rooms whenever I think of purple decor. And then moving on to the last DIY, I'm making this little wooden box sign. I know this is kind of, I don't know, out of the box, but it was a really fun, cute little project and just fun to make, I guess. So the first thing I'm doing is using one of these little trays from Dollar Tree. It had the little stars, which kind of looks elementary, I think, on the side, so I wanted to cover that up immediately. So I take one of my jumbo popsicle sticks and I glued that on both sides so it could go over the star, and I'm just going to paint over this and pretend like it is supposed to be there and make it all blend in and look nice. So this is what I'm going to use for the base of my sign. But since this is a purple challenge DIY and I've used mostly purple flowers in every video, I thought I needed to paint something purple. So I'm using this gorgeous color. This is Lavender in the Waverly chalk paints, which is beautiful. It actually dries a lot darker than it goes on, so you think it's going to be like this light purple color, but it does dry a lot darker. I wouldn't had to have painted this over the top of it. I just felt like it needed to happen. I'm using this large brush where the bristles are kind of spread out, and these make perfect little distressing brushes. But I've noticed the last couple packs of these Walmart brushes that I have been bragging on for years that I love using, I feel like they have shedded more this package. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, so I'm using this. I did have to pick out a couple of the hairs, which is not a big deal. But I just went ahead and brushed this all over. Like I say, I kind of wish I would have left this off, or maybe I didn't say that, but I wish I would have kind of left this off and just distressed it with sandpaper. But anyways, I thought it'd give it texture, and I ended up liking how it looked. I'm going to be painting some little flowers on the front of this little wooden box sign, so I needed a white background for them to pop off of. I love this little brick, this little white brick paper. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, and the first thing I'm going to do is kind of trace a square so I can kind of use that as a guide of where it needs to go. I am getting a little crafty here, and I wanted to rip it off so it looked like it had little jagged edges. I should have traced it on the front in a very light pencil so I could have seen it. I kept having to flip it over, but if you don't rip it on the right side, then it doesn't look pretty and ripped. It just has like a straight edge. If you like how I'm ripping it right now, it didn't show up on that side, so I had to kind of peel it off so it looked more pretty and distressed. And then I just kind of lay it down and I can see what little corners need pulled off there. And then I'm going to be all crafty again and use my lighter to kind of burn the edges. If this scares you, don't do it. I'm completely fine. I'm on a tabletop that is pretty clean. I can handle it and put it out pretty quickly. But anyways, it doesn't catch fire or anything. Just be super careful. I just blow on it so it kind of goes out super fast. But anyways, I burn the edges so it gives it this nice little look. If you're scared to do that, you can just use some black or brown paint to kind of distress the edges. A lot of people also recommend dipping it in tea. That would look really cool. And then I'm using some Mod Podge to put this down. So I put it underneath and then I go ahead and paint that all over to make sure this is nice and sealed down before I start painting. I'll make a list down below of all the paint colors that I used on this in case you want to try to paint it, but the moral of this story is to kind of just use different color paints. So if I'm using like green, I'm going to use 2 different shades, and purple I use 2 different shades, because I think that's just what makes paintings look so nice, is whenever you just use 2 different shades and then add white or dark gray or black and kind of give them highlights. I am no professional painter by no means, but I have fun and I just put confidence in myself enough to just do it and get it done, and it looks decent enough to satisfy myself. I am looking at a photo. I was inspired by a larger wall piece for this cute little box, so I'll show you that in just a second. At the painting I'm looking at, she actually painted blue on like musical notes, but I think this is like a larger wall piece, so I thought this was adorable, and I'm just making it into this tiny little sign. So like I say, just take some white and paint it over those leaves, and then I'm going to use some of my purple color and kind of just use the brush strokes for the little leaves and give it some really cool texture. This is all just trial and error because I hadn't practiced this before or anything. I'm just kind of going for it. And yes, the green, I didn't let it completely dry, so the green is blending in, but I thought that would be really cool on the background because I am going to layer this up in a ton of different paints. So I just keep layering on the purple color. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy fine little painting like this. I personally think it is so fun and relaxing, and I mean, I'm not wasting anything by just trying it on silly little Dollar Tree items. If it doesn't turn out, I can just try again, but I kind of enjoy it. Like I say, even though I wouldn't call myself a painter in like fine art, but I just think it's super fun. So you'll have to let me know down in the comments down below if you enjoy painting little details like this or if you don't, because I'll definitely do more like them. A lot of you all seem like you enjoyed my little gnome painting video, and he was like really small and detailed but super fun and not overwhelming. But just looking off of Pinterest photos, you can really create a lot of things. To give this sign that same little texture like she did in the picture, I wrapped the top with some twine and then made a cute little delicate bow with just one string of the jute twine. and glued that in the top corner. And then I think it turned out beautiful. I did go ahead and go over the flowers with some Mod Podge because I do want it to have the same texture, and then protect the paint that I did paint on there so it doesn't scratch off. And I thought this was such a cute little piece that is perfect for summer or spring, and you can just leave this up all year, but it has that perfect little pop of purple color. Thank you all so much for making it to the end and coming along with me today. I had so much fun doing this rainbow collaboration, so thank you again to Kat from According to Kat. I'll link her channel down below. But go ahead and check out all of the other girls' channels. I'll leave that playlist down below so you can go through the colors of the rainbow and reach the gold at the end to see everyone's cool, creative DIY videos. I'm super excited with how my purple ones turned out. I'm not gonna lie, I was super busy for the last couple weeks, so this had to kind of be pushed really close to the deadline. So I made all of these DIYs like last minute, but I still think that they turned out super cute and I love them so much. And like I said before, don't forget, if you don't love the color purple, you can easily substitute any of the purple flowers or purple paint for any color that you would like. So I know you already know that, but I just have to say that. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Happy crafting. Bye!